What up, guys? Miguel here,
And Joey.
and it's time for another Ask YugaTech. So you know how this thing goes. Look for our Ask YugaTech post on our Facebook page or comment your questions on the latest episode of Ask YugaTech, and hopefully we will get to your questions and answer it in the next episode.
Alright, don't forget, YugaTech now has merch. Link in the description down below. It's actually on sale right now. If YugaTech is your favorite or one of your favorite local tech websites and YouTube channels, then you want to rep us, please buy our merch. Anyway, this is Ask YugaTech after all. Let's get to our first question, which is from Charles Finland. Why do some phone manufacturers remove the headphone jack from their phones, just like the P30 Pro, Nova 5T, Mate 30 Pro, etc.? Did they really hate the headphone jack, or do they just trust wireless and Bluetooth connection? What the heck? If I were them, I'd never remove the headphone jack because for me, it's legendary ever since the Nokia 3310 was made. I guess that's one way you could look at it. They decided to remove the headphone jack entirely because they think that wireless technology, Bluetooth technology is gonna catch up and even be as good as wired. And honestly, through the years, it's getting there.
Yeah.
There's almost no more latency. Another way you could look at it is that the trend in a lot of forms of technology, not just phones, is the removal of components. Removing the headphone jack, removing the volume buttons and power button like on the Vivo Nex 3. Removal of components is one of the things that these manufacturers like to do for some reason. So that's one way of looking at it. What do you think?
My take on it is they shouldn't have ditched it because what they would be missing out on, which isn't like a big percentage of the market, but like people who are really into like mobile cinematography. So like they could take advantage of the jack to have like an external audio source. So if they remove the jack, now people have to be using the Type C, the 3.5mm adapters, which could, that's that. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
But like, can I live without the jack? Honestly, I think I can now because like there's so many true wireless wireless buds and whatever out in the market, and they're only gonna get better and better. We got the AirPods Pro out now.
Better
too.
and better and cheaper.
Yeah. Next question comes from RGD Mortel. Your opinion as to the usage of wireless keyboards via Bluetooth in esports title games. I'm not caught up. Why is he asking this? Is like C games using wireless keyboards?
No. In a professional esports competition, they wouldn't use. I mean, it's up to the players. It's up to the players if they want to. But I don't know. I'm not that good at games. You're not that good at games. But if I was a pro player, I'd want to have any advantage I could get, and part of that is having the advantage in latency.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want to compromise that by using a Bluetooth keyboard. But there are a lot of good ones nowadays. Not just keyboards, even mice.
But also, like, imagine like we held like an esports tournament and all the keyboards were wireless. Wouldn't that still be controlled? Because now there is no advantage or disadvantage. You aren't allowed to use your own personal keyboards. You have to
Yeah.
So like tournament wise, would it really be a problem if everybody was on wireless keyboards?
It would be a handicap for everybody except that one or two people who use the same keyboard personally.
Yeah.
But that's in a professional esports point of view. If you're talking about just playing esports titles on your own using a Bluetooth keyboard, again, it's just your skill will be more important for that kind of thing. But like I said earlier, if you want to give yourself the most advantages as possible, then maybe it's better to use a wired keyboard.
Yeah.
Next question is from Randy Alviar. Is there a high chance to have a fourth telco in the Philippines? Well, there are 4 telcos right now.
Yeah. I think what a big misconception is we only have PLDT and Globe.
Yeah.
But there actually are more. It's just that they aren't the major players in the country. If we were to have 4 telcos, like 4 major telco companies in the country, that would be at least 15% for each major telco out of the 4.
That's market share.
Yeah.
At least 15% market share, yeah.
And I think we can only assume that it would be a good thing for us because healthy competition.
Yeah, I suppose.
If the competition is healthy.
Yeah. The question, is there a high chance? We still haven't gotten to the third major player yet, so that's a big question mark. even that's a big question mark.
Yeah.
What more of a bigger question mark would a fourth telco be? So we can't say for now.
I mean, if you want to be like hopeful, Converge isn't a telco yet,
Yeah.
but they could be.
Yep.
So think about that. Our next question comes from Rafael Madalyig. Madalyig. 2 L's?
Yeah.
Rafael Madalyig. Why does flagship smartphones like the Galaxy S10 series, Google Pixel series, and iPhone flagships only have cameras that are 16 megapixels or below? Why not 64 or 108 megapixels?
Software.
Yeah. It all comes down to how good like the post processing is as well. So that's why the megapixel count for the sensors don't matter so much.
Yeah.
But how come like the mid rangers like to pack in like 164? Well, I don't know.
Especially when they're from the same company. No?
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Like Google doesn't have that discrimination problem because the Pixel 3, 3XL, and the 3A all have the same sensors, but they also all have the same software.
Yeah.
The Pixel 3A is only missing you call it the visual core chip, the hardware image processor that's available in the Pixel 3 and 3XL, but still, same sensors, same software. But yeah, it's generally, for the question, it boils down to software. These companies with let's say sub 20 megapixel camera sensors, the software post-processing is so good and it's all they need. And think about this. Like, on average, our phones only display up to 720p
Mm-hmm.
or 1080p.
Mm-hmm. Just
Why-
like 1080.
Why do we need 100 times that amount of pixels?
Okay. For that, like, I think having the megapixel count solve the whole crop factor, that type of thing,
Yeah.
which is totally fine, nga. But then, like, if the post processing isn't like, let's say for Samsung, fine, Samsung, like S10, 16 or 12 megapixels,
12.
12 megapixel main sensor, but they have 48 megapixel sensors in their mid range. Again, I think you're on the money when like with the whole post processing and software thing. Like, why can't they just streamline that throughout the whole lineup? Should be the question. Because if it was, then they would pack like the bigger megapixel sensors in their flagships.
They have to differentiate it. If like a Samsung Galaxy A50 and the Samsung Galaxy S10, they had the same image processing but different sensors, but generally the images came out looking just as good. If you're looking to buy a camera smartphone, then why still buy the S10? It's a differentiation thing in the lineups.
Ooh, that sounds kind of conspiracy. You know?
No, it's not conspiracy. It's basic business.
Yeah.
It's basic economics.
So parang it's cheaper pa to get like a higher megapixel sensor than just have the same software prowess as the flagship? Okay. Well, there's our 2 cents on that.
All right, next question is from Francis Eljun Lastimosa Formanes. What to expect in 2020 tech, gadgets, smartphones, trends, and the digital world?
Holograms we're getting
What?
closer and closer.
God damn it.
Did you see the thing I shared on Discord?
No.
I don't know if they news desked it, but basically, yeah. Like a university, I forget which, there's so much from the States. Like, they're really getting there. Like, they've come up with like this hologram butterfly. I'll leave a CNET link to this story in the description box below. So basically, you know those portable electric fans that could like spell out like a name or whatever?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea,
Okay.
except think of it 3-dimensional.
Okay, yeah. I can see where you're going with this.
So like they have a bead that's like,
Yeah.
however, they're like manipulating it, however, science, and they come up with like a butterfly.
Yeah.
And then to step that up times 2, like you can put your hand around it while the butterfly is like here, and you can feel it flutter, and it can also emit sound waves, so it can make sounds.
Because the thingy is spinning.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's not a real hologram because it's not empty space. There's something spinning.
Yeah. But then like sound is there, so like, you know, you could actually have like a a holographic
Yeah.
hologram call, with somebody. It's possible.
Okay, let's at a conceptual level, but for the consumer level, things we're gonna see in 2020, I think even more foldable phones.
Yeah.
I mean, the Escobar fold.
The Escobar Fold 1.
Yeah.
Samsung's
My God.
what is this? Their entry to battle the Motorola Razr.
Aside from folding phones, more developments in 5G,
Yeah.
more developments in fast charging,
I think a lot more streaming is
Yeah,
gonna be
a
happening.
lot more. What I hope doesn't happen is going back to the landscape of TV, where you had a TV subscription, you canceled it because, Netflix.
Yeah.
Then now, there's Netflix, there's Amazon Prime, there's Hulu, there's Disney Plus. Which one do I subscribe to? Which one do I keep? That's what I hope doesn't. It's happening, but I hope it doesn't keep continuing. You know what I mean? More developments in VR.
Hopefully.
VR is getting a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot cheaper.
Hopefully, wearables become like smartwatches. Like I hope they become more. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really been the smartwatch guy because I don't get what I need it for. So I hope we get more use out of smart wearables.
Yeah, from the top of my head, from the top of his head, that's what we got. But we're probably gonna release a video sometime later this month before the year ends. Kind of doing a prediction on what we think will come to fruition next year. Also a video on our favorite tech trends from this year, so do stay tuned for that.
Our next question comes from Kurt Ross. Does a gaming PC need an AVR? Is it necessary? So like
A UPS.
a UPS, AVR. Why is it AVR? It's not a transformer.
A UPS is an uninterruptible power supply. An AVR, I believe, stands for A something voltage regulator.
Yeah.
So the AVR is important for your power surges when it's just a fluctuation in the grid. But when there's a complete like blackout, brownout, dyan papasok yung UPS. So if you're using your gaming PC also for like video editing, 3D graphic design, definitely get one before you regret it. Also, I don't know, if you're doing anything important on your PC, having a UPS will allow you to get 10-20 minutes of power to save your work, save your game, and then safely shut down your PC so that nothing. Also, you have no electrical damage to your components. That's a very important part of it.
Would you say it's a necessity?
It depends on the kind of person you are. If you're a high risk person, you probably won't need one. You probably won't think you need one. If you wanna make sure you're good, no matter what, you get a UPS. That's necessary for you.
There you go.
Next question is from Gabriel Dayapan. Recommended 2018 flagship phones that can still compete with or beat 2019 smartphones.
So I included this question because I started to notice that a lot of people were asking about older devices and if it's still worth it to buy this year.
Yeah. 2018 flagships will certainly not like beat 2019 flagships, but we're talking about the mid-range, the upper mid-range, your Oppo Renos, your Vivo V17 Pros. Imagine if you could get like an S9 for that price. That's a really good deal.
I feel like 2018 flagships should still be pretty much okay for like until
2021.
or even 22, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, popular choices.
S9,
Top of my head, the Galaxy S9, S9 Plus,
Note 9,
the Note 9, the
which iPhone 10?
still kind of expensive.
How about the iPhone 7? People keep asking about iPhone 7 Plus or 7.
iPhone 7. Pwede.
But I don't think it's gonna.
But you might not get a lot of more mileage out of it.
But in terms of like software support, You're good.
You're still good. What else? Pocophone F1. I mean the Snapdragon 845. I'm still using 845. Still a really good chip.
I think older Pixel device. Actually, no, 3. The Pixel 3
Yeah, if you can get it,
be much cheaper too.
be much cheaper. Just be careful. I've told this story many times on Asking YugaTech before. If your Pixel has any hardware problems, you're fucked. Okay, I never actually showed the viewers what the problem is, but I'll show you guys. My rear camera only focuses on objects around this close.
Yeah.
So if you can see, like, both of us are blurred. That's
Yeah.
the problem. I need to go to either Singapore or Japan. Those are the nearest places to get it fixed. That's the problem.
Officially.
Officially.
What else? What else? Other brands.
Other brands. Definitely not Huawei. Unless you want a ticking time bomb.
Living life on the edge.
Living life on the edge.
But then, like, the older devices still get support, though, right?
Yeah, they do. But until when?
Yeah.
That's a question.
Yep.
But yeah, there are a lot of 2018 flagships that could still be considered good nowadays, especially when you put them up against the upper mid-range phones from 2019 or the mid-range phones from 2019 even. Especially if you can get last year's flagships for cheap.
Yeah.
So, just look into reviews for those phones specifically and see if the features still hold up to you given everything that's new this year.
And, like, good on you guys for, like, checking out last year models, because, that's more friendly to your budget.
That's a cost-effective way of doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question is from June Brian Belen. Saan makakabili ng Logitech MX Master 3?
Ooh.
I'm an MX Master fan.
Yeah.
Well, I checked earlier when I placed this question in. They aren't yet officially available locally, but there are resellers online, Lazada, Shopee. They go for 7,000 to 8,000 pesos. And on Amazon, it goes for 5,390 pesos. No shipping, but that doesn't matter because they don't ship here yet.
Next question is from Castrovillo Philip Alcaraz Monteserrano. What should we expect from the next generation Sony PlayStation 5? And how's that gonna change the console game for the next few years? Thank you. Definitely, yeah, that's one.
VR.
You can expect maybe a lot more titles, and especially for the actual PSVR headset to get a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
How much is it now? It's like
10K or less?
less than 15K.
Yeah.
So by that time, it might be around 10K, less than 10K even. Yeah. With the new AMD Navi graphics, you get, I think, 4K at 60, and I just checked it up right now. 8K support.
Okay.
3D audio, that should be cool for a game like The Last of Us too. My God.
But obviously, you'd have to have, like, a good setup audio-wise.
Yeah. What else? Backwards compatibility.
Up to the PlayStation 4.
This is kind of a really small petty thing, but the part I'm most excited about is that the new controllers will probably now charge via Type-C.
Yeah, a must. USB-C galore.
Yes.
The VR thing though, like, Sony is really pushing on the VR thing.
Yeah. I went to Japan earlier this year. They had a VR demo. I think they're really pushing for it.
Because, like, I don't know, other people don't want to join them. Like Xbox, they're like, like, fuck VR, and like, irrelevant, and and Sony's on like, what do you mean irrelevant?
Yeah. As to how it could change the console game for the coming years, we can't say yet how it will. We have to see it first. We have to see what or if Microsoft has an answer, if Nintendo has a new answer. We'll have to wait and see for that.
Our next question comes from Eric Gonzalez. Hello, Team YugaTech. Can you please explain to us the easiest, cheapest, and safest way to buy from online shops from abroad like Alibaba, Amazon, GearBest, etc.? Based on your experiences, how did you ship your items to the Philippines? What if you don't have a US mailing address? What are the shipping rates? Do we pay our local customs once my item arrives here in the Philippines? Thanks.
So this is an interesting question. We'd actually like to cover this in a full other video, so stay tuned for that. But for a small anecdote, I've used a service called USA Direct PHL.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those forwarding services like My Shipping Cart, Johnny Air.
Yeah.
They basically provide you a US address, you have your item shipped there, they bring it here to the Philippines, and you have the option of either going to their office and picking it up and paying there, or from their office, they can deliver it to your house. So
Right.
I got something from Etsy for like $20. It had free shipping to the US. So I had it shipped to the company.
Then they brought it
They
over.
brought it here. I paid 600 pesos.
You'll have a more detailed explanation for how to go about that in a later video. Thank you for asking the question.
Next question is from Dark Thanatos. Ooh. Hello, is there still a phone that can beat the Xiaomi Mi 90 Pro with regards to specs and price? Still undecided for what budget phone that should be great for gaming. Is it still worth it to buy, or do you have another phone in mind? The other one that comes to mind is the Huawei Nova 5T, but risky. So if you're going for the Mi 90 Pro, you're already on the right track.
So would you agree that it is like the one to beat in terms of budget X performance? I do too.
It's the Pocophone F1 of 2019.
Yeah. Because people keep asking, like, where's the Pocophone F2?
It's right in front of you.
It's
It's just not named the Pocophone F2. It's named the Mi 90 Pro, or if you're in China, the K20 Pro.
Our next question, and to close this episode off, is from our 2019 Ask YugaTech favorite, John Ray Felen Hadrake Pakanya.
Genre Felen Hadrake Pakanya. See, only the people who ask questions a lot, good questions a lot, get their own theme song.
What's that? Was that what we just did?
John
Okay.
Ray.
He actually has two questions.
Alright.
Okay, so first of all, he thanked us. You're welcome. For this year ender question,
Wait. This is not the year-ender episode. We
Right.
actually have an official year-ender episode. So starting December 16, we're going to be collecting questions for our year-ender episode of Ask YugaTech, which will be published on December 25. So stay tuned for that. Back to John Ray.
Okay, number one. What is your favorite piece of tech that came out this year and why? Alright, and number two, did I make the right choice of buying the Xiaomi Mi Mix 3 5G? It checked all the right items for me, full display is great, cameras are above par, chipset is slightly good to average, and with it coming below 20,000 is a good deal, especially that it is a 5G phone. But hey, I would really want to know both your brutal and extremely honest opinions about it, so let's hear it. And again, thanks and more power.
I want to tackle number 2 first. So, this guy is thinking 5 years ahead.
Yeah.
He's thinking 5 years ahead, so all of you bozos out there who are doubting, magkaka 5G ba sa Pilipinas? Hey, at least when it does arrive, si John Ray, meron na siyang 5G phone.
Honest opinion, not a fan of the slide. Like, what is this? The Nokia, that Nokia phone?
Express Music, was it?
Yeah. You have a pretty good chipset. Snapdragon 855, correct us if we're wrong, but we looked it up and it's an 855. What do you mean subpar chipset? It's a great chipset.
Okay, as for his first question, what's your favorite piece of tech that came out this year and why? What is my favorite piece of tech came out this year and why? My favorite piece of tech that came out this year was the one that sparked. Was the one that started. There was a spark before, but they were the first one to come up with something. The Samsung Galaxy Buds.
I was gonna say the buds too. Fuck you.
You can say it also.
Okay,
You can
because
say-
to be like it had to be something that I had bought.
Genre.
So maybe let's just say like, you can say your Sony. So like true wireless buds.
It's not my favorite thing though.
Okay. So why the Galaxy Buds?
It sparked the revolution.
It did. It did.
It sparked the fuck you AirPods revolution.
It did. Okay. Like, yeah, that's how I feel about it too. Like, I don't need the AirPods. I have the buds. They're not even as expensive. Do they do the job? Yeah, they do. And that was our last question for this episode. If you guys have any more questions, you know what to do. Leave them in the comment section of this episode, or look for that Ask YugaTech post in our Facebook page. But
Next one is December 16. That's
Yeah.
the last one for 2020. So you can ask questions from now until December 16.
Yep.
Until the week of Christmas. And our last episode for this year will be released on December 25.
yeah, so not until December 16th until Christmas, because like we're doing it on the 16th, right?
They don't know that.
Anyway, so there will be a post again next week. Don't let that feel weird and awkward because we just had an Ask YugaTech.
Yeah.
You know, that's for our Christmas episode, 25th.
And for the finale of Ask YugaTech this year, it's not just gonna be us. It's not just gonna be Kim and someone else, me and someone else. It's gonna be a round table with the whole team.
So if you have any questions for specific members of the team,
If you have any specific questions for members of the team, if you want to get perspectives other than ours, it's a good opportunity to ask those types of questions. So examples would be, hello, each member of Team YugaTech. What is your smartphone and why? Shit like that.
yeah. So, yeah.
Again, reminder, YugaTech merch, link in the description down below. It's now on sale at Lazada. And without any further ado, if you've enjoyed this video,
Be sure to smack that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you get notified for
so you get notified of our future uploads. And be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews.
Again, this has been Miguel.
This has been not Miguel. What?
And we will see you.
This has been Joey.
And
And not Joey.
and not Joey. And we will see you in the next one.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.